Okay, introduction to the lathe. When you use the lathe, it's going to be turned round so that it's easier to get to, but this is so you can see everything while I'm doing it. This is the actual lathe, and it consists of a motor which is under here, and that drives this here. This is called the chuck, which turns round. Okay? And then here is a tool, a cutting tool, that we can move, and we can move the cutting tool that way, in and out, and we can move it along here by turning another screw here. At this end we have a thing called the tailstock, which can move in and out like this, and it has a way of adjusting it there. And we can put all sorts of tools in here. We can put drills, we can put, this is called a centre, which helps keep things straight when they're turning. There's a light which we keep on top of the work so that we can see exactly what's going on, because without very good light you sometimes get things not quite in line. This is a very important piece. This is the guard, and if we're lucky, you may just be able to hear it click when I move it. And that click, if you could hear it, is a tiny little switch inside here. If this guard is open even just that much, it turns the motor off. It's a safety protection. The older lathes didn't have these, and they just spun like this. But make sure this is in place. To further protect you, always, always, always wear the eye shields. If a piece of metal comes off the lathe at speed and goes in your eye, you will never see again. Okay, so always wear these. I'll just clean these so you can actually see out of them tomorrow. Make sure you're happy with them. My glasses are actually made for industrial use. The only thing they haven't got on, I've got another pair for that, is these side pieces. With what we're doing, they're probably not necessary, but if I've got a long piece in here, then I will wear my glasses with side pieces. The controls, I'll just tip the lathe up so you can see them. There's two controls. This is the on-off switch. And whenever we're working on the lathe, we make sure that's pressed down. It's also an emergency switch, so if something goes wrong, and even if you're not operating the machine, if you see something going wrong, just hit that and it will stop. This here is the speed control. I'll just turn that off while I'm showing you. Turn right round to the left, the machine is off, but always press that if you're going to do work on it. And then click turns it on, and it's a speed control. So the more you turn it, the faster it goes. If there's a problem, for example, if you've left this open, then when you turn this yellow light will come on. This isn't a very reliable machine, and sometimes when you turn this it doesn't go. Just turn it off and try again. One day I'll get around to fixing it. To hold the piece, this chuck, you'll see this ring turns, and can you see when it turns these jaws are coming in and out? So we can put a piece, let's see if we can find a piece of metal. Let's get a piece of metal. And handily, if you've got small pieces of metal like this, you can actually stick them up the back of the machine and pop them out like that. And then I turn this to clamp it. And when I'm happy with its position, I put one of these pins in here, one in here, and just pull them like that till it's tight. Don't overdo this, because if you do, you'll either break these or you'll squash the workpiece. It just needs to grip. Okay, and if I pull on that, it's nice and tight. If I've got this out a long way, and to release it, I just pull the two together. Boom, and it's now released. Okay. If this is hanging out a long way, then when I try to work on it and the tool pushes on there, then this will move. So what I can do, I just nip that up, I can turn this, let me just move that out of the way so you can see. I can move this in so that it pushes on there and holds it, and now when the cutter pulls on that, it's not going to move. Again, I've got a laid out workplace with everything marked out of where things should be, and I'll just put the tightening pieces on there. Okay, so it should look like that. I don't know if you can see in this corner here, but I have places for the work, and the work which pieces I'm going to work on go on the in tray, and then as I finish I put them on the out tray so I know which pieces I've finished. I'll just release this piece of metal, I'll put that on there, and that should now come out. Just tool it back. If you lay your workshop out like this, you will find that you can work sometimes 3, 4, 10, many times more efficiently. I used to teach people how to run factories, and I used a little setup just like this, and when we started at the beginning of the week with nothing organised, it would take them 3 or 4 hours to make a piece, and by the end of the week we were taking 3 minutes, so that's a 60 times improvement simply by working out how to do things in a good sequence. It also makes life safer because you know where everything is and nothing's going to fall in. For example, as I say, on some older lathes you don't have these, and if you accidentally leave this in the machine and start the machine, this will fly out. And when I was young and starting work, somebody did that. They left one of these in the machine, started the machine, it shot out, and about 50 metres away a guy fell over because it hit him on the head. Fortunately it didn't kill him, but he had to go to hospital. It actually knocked him out, and that's how dangerous these things can be. You're fortunate that this has got a guard, so you can't actually leave this in. Okay? But it's good to get the discipline so if you ever use another machine, you don't make that mistake. The other piece I want to show you is this. It's called a chuck, and it holds drills. And if I turn this outer piece here, you can see that just like the chuck here, it's got little jaws which will grip the drill. Okay? And it fits on the tailstock. I'll just take out this piece here, though we'll need it later, so I'll put it in its place, and it screws on there. Just put this out of the way so you can see what's going on. And when I've put my drill in, so I can just do that by hand by moving this around, I'll just tighten it up by hand. Make sure it's screwed right in, otherwise, because if it's not, I'll just show you what happens. If it's not screwed in properly, can you see it waggles about, which is not good if you're trying to get an accurate hole. So if you make sure it's on tight, then it's not going to move around too much. And then to tighten, finally tighten, instead of having the two pegs, we use this type of key, and we put it in the hole there, pull it up against the teeth and turn it, and that's now tight. To remove it, use the key and just turn it like that, and then you can take it off by hand. We're going to use this in a minute, so I'll just, in fact I'll leave it on. I'll leave it on. Now, I don't need the cutting tool for this job we're going to be doing today, so I'll take the tool off. Now, the tools are held on by this screw, and you can just slide them off like that. And if I had more of these, it would make it very easy to change them, but I only actually have one. So to put on the other set of tools, and as an example here, it's a different type of cutting tool. I just simply take the screw out, put this on here, line it all up, but that's a whole other video which we won't do today. Put that there. I'm going to put that one out of the way so we make sure it's in its place so we know where it is when we need it. We've got our drill. We'll stop there and then I'll show you in the next video how to put holes in the wheels.